How do we start this?
Normally we just start talking and you like fade in the audio and you go, yo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Should have used that for the intro. That would have been funny.
we still can. There's still opportunity.
Alright, so go.
Go. I mean,
How do
I,
you normally
I've
start this?
I've been recording.
Oh,
Anyways,
now this is the part where you say the line.
welcome to the Jepcast. You said the
Go
yo
back.
for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm Jeppy. He's Henry,
Yo.
and we're here to talk about
Yes.
things,
Mostly
stuff,
games.
mostly games, because two things going on in my head: games and multimedia franchises, I guess, which is
Those
also
are the only two things.
includes games. So I
Yeah.
don't know,
It's just games.
just games.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I'm a gamer. I
Oh,
I should not have
self-proclaimed.
said that. Uh, I can say it to like you and my friends because you get what I mean. But I feel like gamer has kind of like a weird negative connotation, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Like the photos of the basement dwellers,
Yeah.
which I don't dwell in the basement. I dwell on the second floor. Very big difference, let me tell you.
True. I also dwell on the second floor.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or as far away as we can be, physically, that is.
Well, actually, I could be on the fifth floor, but
Okay, well, why aren't you?
I will try harder next time. Then I'm sorry.
Yeah, should have really tried harder.
That's on me.
Anyways,
On me.
we're gamers, is
Yes,
what we have
self-proclaimed.
just tried to disprove, but we're gamers. We game. We've been gaming a lot. But
Yes.
also, so the Game Awards.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at the Game Awards, right? Looking through all the
Mhm.
like categories and whatnot.
Yeah, the nominations.
I feel like it feels like nothing has come out this year.
There's been, yeah, no games.
It's like a rotation of the same 10 games. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It Takes Two was nominated for Game of the Year, and I have not played It Take Two, so uh, maybe it's like a hidden masterpiece of a game, but it didn't seem like Game of the Year like material to me. And I
Yeah,
did.
I heard only good things about it, but like again, there just weren't a lot of like contenders, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I played Metroid Dread. There's another
Mm.
thing listed on Game of the Year, and I don't think it was like Game of the Year material. It was fun. It was a good time. Game of the Year? Well, I
Mm.
don't know.
Yeah. I think I like seeing Psychonauts on there all the time. I think that they took like what, 14 years since the last Psychonauts or something crazy. It's been a damn long time.
Yeah?
I'll fact check myself on that in a second, but
Did you play that one?
I did not actually play Psychonauts. I've seen people play Psychonauts, but I've like watched content creators do it and stuff. But like, yeah, 2005 was the first Psychonauts, so it's been 16 years,
Quite a long time.
and I mean, they did really well with the second one. So
Yeah?
mhm.
Huh. Interesting.
I'm
I
glad to see them so many times.
I mean some of the other categories, like they're not really much better. I feel like I see Deathloop on there a lot, and I don't think that was extremely critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
Maybe it was critically acclaimed and the people didn't like it. I don't know. I remember there being something odd about that.
I feel like that happens a lot with like awards, like media awards, like Grammys, Emmys, the Oscars, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Less the Grammys, but the other two, where like there'll be like this show or this movie made or this game, um,
And
where that they'll release this movie that's like a cinematic masterpiece, but the problem is that like I mean the average person is like this is all right at best.
yeah. And a lot of
Like
stuff might be like good as an art, but as
mhm.
like a entertainment piece, maybe not the best.
Yeah, the movie The Green Knight from like last May or June or something, it comes to mind. I saw that with a few friends. It's a story about like the Knights of the Round Table, and and it's definitely like an art movie. It's like an
Yeah.
art piece, and it wasn't very entertaining as just like an average dude.
What was it about? I know it's Knights of the like Round Table, but
Uh, Trying to remember like exactly.
was he
Um,
green?
the Green Knight was like the antagonist, like he
What
was
the
like
hell?
made of trees or something. I don't really remember. One of the characters in it. One of the viewers listening to this, if he does listen to it, will get very mad at me for forgetting his name. But
I'm
yeah,
sure he can find it in his heart to forgive you.
hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, a lot of differences between critics and like the people. I think they're pretty interesting. Like the difference between, I guess, the first example that comes to my mind is the Last Jedi. So I feel like critics like that one, but
Yeah,
the reputation around it.
yeah. No, I know what you mean. It was it was just not a very satisfying ending to the series. But I'm not going to get into that because that's going to be like a whole thing.
Yeah,
We'll do that later.
I guess we can talk about Star Wars another time. Because now that I think about it, I have a lot to talk about. But we also have
Yes,
a lot to talk about today.
yes. We do have a little bit, not much of a plan, but we have a rough idea of what we're
You
going
know,
on.
we got some topics in the topic channel. We're professional podcasters, as you can probably tell, dear viewer, where we got 100 views on the first episode, 60 views on the second one, and 35 on the third one.
Right? All right.
Yeah, well, you would hope for better, but engagement's going down. We peaked with the first one.
I mean, it was really good, but maybe this one will be a second just as good.
It was good, but I think
Yes.
the audio problems, like the weird vacuuming when I speak, I think I fixed that. I didn't really do anything. It just kind of went away mostly.
Oh, it's interesting.
So I think at least the later ones were a bit better, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like the pilot episode for a series where like they're kind of eh, most of them at least,
Uh-huh.
but they do lead to like a great series. And I hope
Mm-hmm.
that's what
Yeah,
happens here.
yeah, I agree.
Anyways, suppose we should have something to talk about. We did Game
Well,
Awards.
we talked about the Game Awards.
Yeah,
We can keep on this game
game.
kind of. You're a Pokemon fan.
How could you tell?
Well, um, the last three podcasts mostly.
Well, I would say I only talked about it a few times.
Yeah.
Uh, I, yeah, okay, I can't beat around the bush because I feel like I, deep in my heart, I'm a Pokemon fan. Because everyone here listened to the last episode, I've been playing it since I was a kid. I think these games can be a lot better than they are. Because the new Pokemon game, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, that came out, I think, 2 days ago. Since it's technically Saturday, so yeah, it came out on Friday, and I've been playing it because I'm a consumer. I'm a Pokemon consumer. What can I say? And I don't want to say that they're bad games, because the reality is they're not bad games, but they're only good games because they're based off of the Diamond and Pearl, and those are good games. But I think they can be so much better than what they are. Because instead of like reimagining the Sinnoh region in the new light of these new games and improving and smoothing over the bad parts, they basically just took Diamond and Pearl, gave it a new coat of paint, and then shipped it out. Sure, they like upgraded the underground, but I mean, there's nothing in the underground to begin with, so it's basically making a new area, which I guess is the best thing I can say that they did for this game. I don't think the art style particularly like is very good for the game. I think they should have either just updated it fully to like the 3D art style or they should have done like a really cool Pixar thing that could have been really neat and a good direction for the series. But it's just Diamond and Pearl have a lot of problems. They're good games, but they do have problems. Like, why does the Fire type Elite Four member have only 2 Fire types out of a 5 Pokemon team? And they have the opportunity to base it off of the Platinum team, which is so much better and filled with Fire types. But they don't. Even though it's in the same generation, they insist on making it faithful to Diamond and Pearl, which is just the worst version of those games when you can base it on Platinum team. And you have a full Fire type Elite Four, and you don't. Oh my god, you don't even have to base it off the Platinum team. You can just give them the extra Fire types that are in the game. Oh my god. And there's just a lot of things they did better in Platinum, like the post game, the battle tower. I forget what that island is called, but the island in that post game with like Stark Mountain or whatever. That's what the mountain is called, but whatever. But aside from like the just the I just want to focus on what they did new is what I'm trying to say. Like the art style, I don't think it fits personally. I know I said like they could do other art style, but here's why I don't think it fits. The Sinnoh region was not really built for, I think, this kind of mixture of the 3D and 2D art styles. Because they did what they could with the 2D art style. They tried to have as much life and detail they could give it at the time. And that is why they came up with the art style that they did, because it also fit like the Pokemon. But now it feels really disjointed, I guess, because since they have it faithful, they have like each NPC in an cutscene, they walk in straight paths like they did in the original. But in the original, they don't have a turning animation. They just turn on a dime because they're goaded and loaded with their feet. But in the remakes, they have a turning animation and it delays things ever so slightly. Like your rival who's supposed to be running everywhere and he's zooming off. In the original games, you talk to him, he takes off and he turns on a dime and he's a race car. It's like a F1 racer going through the finish line. In the new games, he goes and then he takes a year to turn and then he goes away. Just weird little things like that. Which, sure, maybe they don't make it a bad game. Or, not maybe, they don't make it a bad game. But it just could be so much better. It's like same Pedro Pascal. I probably butcher that, to be honest. I'm bad with names. But it's like his life is good, but it can be better. These games, as people defend them, they're not bad. In fact, yeah, I've said this 15 times because I'm trying to hammer it into you that they're good games, but they can be so much better. Come on, Game Freak. Biggest multimedia franchise in the world. $100 billion is something crazy, just with like every single source of income. And yet they can't hire like a few more people to make these better. I know they outsource this, but I feel like they could just hire more if they just want to make it better. If they just want to, at the end of the day, the sales numbers they get, they don't need to make it better. They don't need to try and improve the games because they know that they'll sell crazy. I know that I'm, I guess, sort of part of the problem because I'm buying the games. But it's just my message out from my heart to Game Freak. Maybe add a hard mode to the games. Maybe if you don't want to make it harder around the board, where, the first half of the game is not just an absolute cakewalk, where I can't just choose Chimchar at the start. And why did you give him Power Up Punch? I have not had a fight in the game in a Brilliant Diamond where I felt the least bit challenged by any of the Pokemon. because I just send out Monferno, I power up Punch, maybe once, maybe twice, and then I just win because it boosts my attack every single time I use it. Come on, man. Maybe give like Gardenia like a few more Pokemon. Maybe don't have the Stealth Rocks Onyx come out on the second Pokemon. Maybe start with that. These are extremely specific, not extremely specific, but they're just specific examples that you'd really, I don't know. My words are not working that well because I'm passionate about this subject. I think there's just so many things like they could do better because ROM hacks, woo, here's the part where I bring up ROM hacks. They do it so well. I think, ignoring all the weird jank they have because they're made by like a couple people just modifying the game files and they don't have like a team of people behind it to give the supreme amount of polish. Not supreme. Why did I say supreme amount of polish? The games don't have that much polish anymore. Or just any polish. But they have like, let's see, each gym leader has a full team of Pokemon. A lot more Pokemon are accessible. Let's see. One thing I'm really mad about, trade evolutions. They fix those. They give alternate ways to evolve those Pokemon. They give like avenues to get all of the evolution stones. Like I can only get one shiny stone, just on the floor in Brilliant Diamond. And I want to use like Roserite and Togekiss, but I have to run around with Pachirisu with pickup if I want to try and use both for those Pokemon. And they level caps, which is I think a really good thing. A lot of people talk about the XP system and maybe how it, makes the game too easy. But some of these ROM hacks have like an XP share system where every Pokemon gets XP. And yet they still find ways to make the game difficult and challenging. And to be honest, I'm kind of coming around to this XP share system on those ROM hacks because that just eliminates a lot of the grinding that one has to do. Like, let's see. In some of these games, if you don't get to the level cap, then you'd have to like grind a lot of Pokemon. But usually the level cap is set before. It's still pretty low for each gym that you'll reach it like 3/4 of your way to the gym, and when you get to the gym, you'll be there. And that's due to the XP system. And not everyone has 15 hours or like 50 hours to grind these ROM hacks, so it's very good. Something like Radical Red has a minimal grinding system. It takes out all IVs and EVs, basically like hidden values to enhance Pokemon stats. To take out those, put everyone on an equal playing field. And, they at least, a lot of them buff like older Pokemon, because a lot of older Pokemon, let's be real, a lot of them are kind of useless, and a lot of newer Pokemon too. But they're just outclassed by, I guess, I don't know if I want to say power creep, if it's more just like newer Pokemon doing stuff better than some of the older ones. I guess that is kind of power creep. Anyways, what did I get myself sidetracked with power creep? Yeah, they update older Pokemon that, are kind of crippled at their current moment, and they give them new abilities, new moves. They buff their stats, and they make a lot more Pokemon viable and make you want to use some of these Pokemon. So they have like a cool ability or a cool move that they didn't have before, or maybe their stats are buffed, so they have a cool new use for this. Like their stats, maybe they're now a sweeper, maybe they're now extremely bulky. It really emphasizes the, I guess, gotta catch them all thing, because you do want to catch them all. In a normal playthrough of Pokemon, I feel no need to catch, I guess, more than the Pokemon that I like and want to use. But in these ROM hacks, I go through a route, and if I see a Pokemon, I'm like, oh, this could be updated, this could be really cool, and I catch it, and I check the documentation, see if they did, and I would say maybe like 6 times out of 10, that's more than half. I do want to use that Pokemon because it's updated and it's really cool. But not in mainline Pokemon games. That's too much work for them. I mean, come on, man. You could at least put a little bit more effort if the game is gonna sell like 10 million copies or something like that. But as time and the data, and I need a third thing to make a trio, I don't know, the media have shown you don't really need to make a good game for it to sell well. And that's the problem. There's a lot of games coming out recently that maybe aren't the best. Like Battlefield 2042, I don't know, I didn't play that, but I've heard that's had a pretty rocky launch. So I just want to take a little bit of time, point out a few, I guess, smaller game studios or games made by a few creators. Maybe not spend too much time on them, but I do want to give at least a nod to them as a, I don't know, a victory lap for people who make good games. Anyways, let's start off this top 10 list. I feel like Watch Mojo now. Number 1, Hyper Light Drifter. This is a good game. I feel like it's like a very focused on the world, very focused on the exploration. Yeah, a lot of it is about, the world, the atmosphere, just the a lot of the history that it presents with like I don't know, there's probably a lot of video essays or something about this. It feels like a pretentious topic, but it isn't really, but it's like environmental storytelling is, I think, the word people throw around for it. But you walk around the world, you fight the bosses, and you get the feeling that this world has a lot of history, it has a lot of interesting history, and you want to learn more about it. And it's not just the world, it's also like the gameplay, because you're going from room to room. Yeah, you're like clearing out rooms with like all these different abilities you get. You defeat a boss, you get like a different gun, but you're really using like a sword to like dash around the room and kill people. And it doesn't, me talking about it doesn't really do it justice as it will for a lot of these games, but it is a very fun game to like
I
go
can
do it.
attest. I have seen you play it. Very
Oh,
cool. Huge fan.
yeah, it is a good game. It also is a very fun game to watch.
Mm.
I think,
Yes, it is a fun game to watch. I don't think that I would enjoy playing it very much, but very
yeah,
cool to watch.
I suppose that is just the thing with a lot of these games,
Yeah,
but a
they're
lot
not
of
really
them are
up my
very fun to
alley.
play.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it then.
Yeah, take my word for it. I'm an experienced gamer. Oh, that felt bad to say, honestly.
We're sinking deeper and deeper.
It's getting worse and worse, man. Every time I say gamer, I have to put more emphasis on it just to try and separate myself from saying it unironically. Oh god. Anyways, next, okay, I'm looking at the list that I've made in my head. I'm thinking a lot of these games, a lot of the things I'm gonna talk about is like the world and like the lore and environmental storytelling and whatnot. And that's just because like these games do it well. A lot of games, especially smaller, they have more interesting worlds. I would say than like some of the bigger ones. So next one, number 2, Katana Zero. I did talk about this one a bit like 2 podcasts ago, but I feel like it didn't do it justice. Because I think the story and like the world that they have presented and set up, it's not one that I think has been matched with like a few of the other games. It's very top notch, and I do want to learn more. I want this story to go on because it kind of stopped at like, okay, if I had one criticism about this game, it feels like the story kind of stopped like in the middle of Act 2. Like, we need an Act 3 to finish this out. We need to see where it goes. But those two, like, first acts are still really good. And the gameplay, I guess the best way I would equate it to is if you ever seen, like, Hotline Miami. I've never played it, but I've seen it, and it seems pretty similar. A lot of people make that connection. But it's basically you die in one hit, everyone else dies in one hit. And you're clearing out rooms, so you have your dodge, you can slow down time, you can reflect bullets with your sword. A lot of these, you have a sword. Anyways, I guess I'm just a sword guy. But yeah, God, now I'm thinking about I should replay that game again. I'm just gonna think that about every game I say on this list. Anyways, next one. Not one that I've talked about, I think, on this podcast. Number 3, as Watch Mojo would say, Ultra Kill. Woo! It's got a very extreme name, but it is, I think, very fun. Probably one of the most fun I can think of right now. Because they describe it as like well, the website they use to link to their game is, trying to remember. Oh no, it's not coming to me. I need to go into my mind palace. Oh, whatever. It's like a very fast-paced shooter. It has a lot of scoring elements. It's a very fun game to just go fast. You wipe out a room of enemies. There's a lot of tech that I think maybe wasn't intended, or maybe it was, because a lot of it feels unintended. But, you know, the person who made this game, I feel like it's very smart. Like, there's a parry system in this game where you can parry enemy projectiles, but you can also parry your own shotgun blasts, and when they hit an enemy after you parry them, they like explode. Stuff like that is very cool. There's a lot of tech, like, you have a shotgun in that game, and one of your like abilities of the shotgun is like bump it up and make it do extra damage. But if you pump it up too much, it explodes on you and it does a ton of damage. But you can just pump it up a lot too much, and you can have it do that big explosion. But you can dodge out of the explosion if you time it right and obliterate a group of enemies. One of the coolest abilities in this game is you have like a revolver, and you can toss up a coin and shoot it, and it like ricochets the bolt to hit an enemy, which is really cool. I really like that. But you can also hit the coin with other things. Like, you have a railgun that shoots like a huge electric laser. And if you toss up that coin and hit it with that, it ricochets and it hits someone. And if you toss up the coin and hit it at just the right time, it shoots out 2 lasers. And that game just feels great to play. The story, actually, I was gonna like, I don't know, give it a knock on the story, but it's not really like a story game. It's more of like the story serves as a vehicle for you to fight cool shit. Like, you fight an angel, you fight a huge corpse of King Minos. There's a lot of like, it's very angelic because you're a robot that's running through hell. You fight another robot that's just like you, and people who made the game, I'm proud of them. I would say I'm proud of them. I'm proud. I think they did a very good job. Anyways, next on this list, number 4, Fury. I guess you could also pronounce it furry, but I don't like pronouncing it furry because then it sounds like I'm a furry, and I'm not. Contrary to not popular belief, I'm not a furry. But it's like a boss rush game. Boss rush game where you basically you're a guy, you're trying to break out of prison. But it's a prison in space? What? Anyways, fun mechanics, fun bosses. The main difficulty you go through on the game is just like warming up for the second run, which is like much harder difficulty, so it's high octane gameplay, if you want to say it that much. Funny story, this guy also has a sword. Funny, now that I'm thinking about it. Ultra kill. No, you don't have a sword. Other people have a sword, not you. Anyways, Fury, very fun boss game. Again, I think the kind of, well, atmosphere that they set up on this one is a lot weaker. And I realize I'm taking a lot of time going through this list, so I'm going to speed up a little bit, hit a few things. Kenshi, maybe not the most polished game I have on this list, but it's a very fun sandbox. I think in this one, they set up a lot of factions, a lot of secrets to find around the world. So the world on this one is great. It's an open world thing where you kind of control like a party of people. You have attributes you can level up. There's probably an analogy I can make to another game, but you're in a desolate wasteland. There's a bunch of there's like a hive. There's like robots, some other people, but they're not as interesting, so I don't talk about them a lot. And there's other like weird stuff you can find in the world. Like there's this guy. It's like I forgot his name, but he's like a bug leader or something. Like I don't know. The name isn't doing him justice. But he's a very hard NPC and like some in a remote part. And if you kill him, you find like all he has is an inventory. Is a bunch of teeth. And I think like stuff like that, weird, but very cool. I like that kind of stuff. Factorio, maybe not the smallest game. Like it's pretty big, but I like the expanding gameplay of it, the automation, the growing your factory. Very fun, and especially when you get into like the later stuff and then you realize, oh, your factory, oh, you should have planned it better. Oh no, and you have to figure out like how you want to fix your spaghetti of a factory. Maybe not, I guess, the most fun, but it is very fun feeling that just seeing your base grow and you destroy these bugs who are rapidly mutating to try and destroy you, who is an intruder on your planet, which I guess probably says something about the environment, but I don't know. I'm just exterminating the bugs. I want to get out of this place. Anyways, next to, okay, I was gonna say Minecraft because that was made by not one person, but it's kind of evolved beyond that. And you probably know what Minecraft is, so I think I can safely skip that one. Then I would say I don't know, the next thing I would say is Terraria, but that's also really big. And if you haven't played Terraria, go play it, it's fun. But if I had to come up with any other off the top of my head, I would probably not, because I would need to do a little bit of research into my Steam library. Because those are like a few of the games I have on the top of my head right now. Besides, of course, Pokemon, Destiny. I don't know why those are the only two. I feel like I've played Halo Infinite, that came out. I feel like I should probably talk about that. Yeah. So as it turns out, it did surprisingly come out early.
We called it.
To guess no one's surprised.
Contribute that to us, the podcast.
We did it. It was totally
We
us and not me seeing a Reddit post about it.
Yeah.
I would never, personally. I don't even know what that is. But the game's fun. You played a lot?
Let's see. I think I have like 5 hours in it now. Not a
Damn.
ton, but I enjoy it.
Oh,
I was wrong. 11.
a little bit of a difference there, but you know,
Yeah, I mean, I've jumped around. I played the big team battle, very classic for Halo. I played
yeah.
a little bit of ranked. Pretty fun. Pretty good. I'm a big fan.
I guess I'm just not like a Halo guy. Like,
Yeah.
it's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but it's not something like I would grind, I guess. But that might just be me. I know I've known some people who are uh, passionate about it, excited for it to come out. I played a bit. I found it fun. I'd pick it up I'm playing in a group, but otherwise, I guess not a game I'd grind alone.
Yeah. I It's not my favorite shooter, I will say that.
Yeah,
The gunplay feels not amazing, to be honest, and the movement is better than I've played in others, but it's still kind of lackluster. Like they introduced a slide, which I think is new for Halo, but
probably.
it's like kind of useless. And maybe it's good if you like get like the timing really good, but like as far as I can tell, 11 hours in, it does not. It's not like an Apex or other games that introduced the slide. I'm sure the
Destiny.
original game, Destiny, has it. One of the Call of Duty games, I don't know, but yeah, they do it way better.
Yeah, I guess a kind of like relationship between all the games you mentioned of Slide is that they're faster paced. I would say Halo's
Yes.
a very slow, not a very slow, but a much slower game.
Mhm.
You kind of can jump around, you can zoom around on a vehicle, but compared to like Apex or Destiny 2, some of the crazy drift that's going on, you need like a slide in those games. Otherwise, you're gonna fall behind with like the amazing jumps or supers or X and Apex, whatever movement you can do there. Probably like, I don't know, can
Real
they
easy
wall
stuff.
run?
No, that
Oh,
is a Titanfall 2 only.
call me a Titanfall guy.
Yeah. I don't think it would work very well in that. I mean, it would, you obviously know how to do it. I just think that it would be kind of game break.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the geometry in that game would not lend itself well to wall running, so I guess not really good for that. But yeah, slide. I don't know if it really fits in Halo. I guess I'm just like a casual Halo fan. I don't know if I would even say Halo fan. I would just say like a person who's played a few Halo games a couple times. Say, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
But gameplay's a bit slower than I'm used to. I'm either used to Valorant one taps or Destiny 2 casting a super on someone and completely obliterating them. So this kind of style, I don't know, maybe it's not for me. But I recognize that if you're a Halo fan, you probably like the game. And
Yes.
I think that's all really that, what is it, 343? That's all that 343 needs.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that with the slide especially, I think that like I mean we're already seeing a lot of clips from the game where like people are like figuring out pretty good like exploits with the movement as they do with all games.
Classic.
Like yeah. And so I think that the slide will eventually work its way into the meta, but right now I don't just see much use for it. It just kind of feels clunky.
Yeah. We've talked about games so much, people are gonna think we're gamers.
Oh no, heaven forbid. Um
Uh, you know what would make them think we're not gamers?
what else do we talk about?
D&D. They'll think we're
Oh
nerds
god.
instead.
It's so much better. Do you have
Anyways,
a weekly update from your little campaign?
I do have a weekly update. I
Ooh, I'd
know.
love to listen.
I know we missed it last time, but it actually works out great because you
Oh.
know what? We missed a session last week.
Oh,
Like the scheduling just wasn't there, but that means I don't have to catch up with two sessions. I can do one.
nice.
And that's good. Cause that one that we missed is kind of a big session.
Yeah. All right. One sec though. I'm gonna go close my window because it's very breezy.
Oh yeah, that's what would happen if the window's open. Anyways, yeah, D&D. Last we left off, we are going through this spooky forest, and this time on D&D, we're getting into that city. Let me tell you, we got to a new area and we burned this pine cone that we got from some guy. I forget where, but it basically tell this dragonborn, "Hey, we're here, and you should come meet us." So we do, and this chatted up dragonborn comes over. He's huge. He's got like magical plate armor. He's got a crazy magical greatsword, and he's like, "Yo, what up?" As it turns out, all the guys that you pissed off are at the gate to the magical city. But good news, there's a side entrance. Bad news, there's a lot of bad stuff in that city. And, we're kind of greedy. We still wanted to go in that city, so we're like, oh, what kind of bad stuff? And can you lead us to the side entrance, please? And he's like, yeah, sure, but by the way, if you open that door, the 5, ancient dragons will come out and attempt to become Tiamat. Yeah, that's kind of a bombshell to drop on, a couple of guys who just stole the monkey idol because they felt they wanted to do good. But anyways, basically, it's a magical city where a bunch of dragons were lived. So that's why all the Dragonborn, or a lot of Dragonborn know this tale. But basically, Dragonborn made a deal with these 5 dragons whose names are literally just the colors that they're named after. Actually, no, the colors are named after them. That's how old and badass these dragons are. And eventually we're gonna have to kill them, which is a whole nother story. But anyways, yeah, apparently they made this deal with these dragons because these dragons were like, oh, we want to start taking over cities and stuff. And these dragons were like, oh, that's not cool. So they made a deal. They lured the dragons into their city, and then they sealed it up. And that magic has lasted for 1,000 years. But these are some powerful dragons. The magic is weakening. They're in there, and they don't want to be in there no more. That's the only reason why this monkey idol was found. We found it because the magic was weakening. If it wasn't, nobody would have found it. And so it's only a matter of time until someone opens up the city and lets these dragons out. And so we're like, why not let it be us? Because we are also the main characters of this story. So show us that side entrance, buddy. We're gonna get in and we're gonna hope the dragons don't kill us on the way out. That's kind of how it is going. But anyways, we went to the side of, I think it was a mountain. We did some sheer rock climbing, and eventually we found the place to put the monkey idol into the sheer cliff face. Put it in, and this huge bell kind of tolled throughout the region. And that kind of telling every single Dragonborn that, hey, kind of the worst thing that can happen is happening right now. All the dragons are gonna get out. But one tidbit that the Dragonborn told me, the party, was that there's a cool ass sword in there. And I'm a Hexblade Paladin guy. I like swords. And he told me about this sword, this Dragon Slayer sword that they gave to the dragons. That's suited for a guy with a sword and shield. And I happen to use a sword and shield. So I was very interested on getting the sword, if not for being a guy who runs around with a sword that is really cool. But eventually we're gonna kill those dragons. I swear, it's not just the sword. But we get in, we find out there's this race of monkeys in here, and we go to the leader, and it's a giant monkey you put on a headband of intellect, so he's smart, he has a good intelligence. And now I feel bad for him. I feel bad for a monkey in a D&D game, because he's lived in this magical city for all of his life. He doesn't know what the outside, he doesn't even know what the sun is. He's never seen the sun. And we come in there and we say, hey buddy, your whole life is going to change because we're going to allow these ancient dragons that you never knew existed. And we're just going to let them out. And you're going to have to hope that they don't kill you on the way out. And you're going to go out into this world and you're going to see a lot of new things that you've never seen before. And this poor monkey only has only a 19 in intellect is not that bad. But he hasn't been living for that long. He's, trying to figure out, whatever he can from the ancient writings that these Dragonborn left. He took it in stride, to be honest. Good poise on that monkey. But, God, poor little monkey. Anyways, we ended the session with, basically going to loot the city with whatever cool magic items we can find. Because, you know, it's a magical city. They've got to at least left a few cool things beside a sword. And also there's a dragon's horde in, like, the palace, but, you know, we have to let the dragons out for that. Oh, we don't have to let the dragons out. The dragons will get out. But that's kind of like the start of the end of the world if we don't stop it. So it's not something I'm, you know, excited about except for getting a cool sword. Man, I really just do want a cool sword. I am a sword guy. Swords are cool, you know? Guns, you know, are lame. Let me. That's my opinion on, I guess, guns. Me getting political up in here, but swords are so much cooler. You know, they kind of like made warfare and whatever extremely efficient. Oh, they're a lot better than swords. But I like it when a writer, like in here go talking about Dune again, but in like Dune, made these personal shield generators. I don't know if he made them just so we can use swords again, but they use swords, and that's awesome, bro. A good sword. I don't even know what I can talk about with swords, but they're cool, right? And especially when it's a cool dragon slayer in the middle of a magical city, and I have to go slay some dragons. I want to give that bitch a name if it doesn't already have one, and go around introducing myself as name, comma, and this is my sword. But I don't know if a lot of NPCs would react well to me showing them my sword. Actually, that sounded bad. Anyways, I need to get on to a new topic before I talk about swords too much.
Call this one the Sword Podcast.
Well, hopefully not. Well, actually, I have to name it something so I don't name it. Does this guy only talk about games?
Yeah.
I'll name it the Sword Podcast.
Yeah, swords are cool. So
Glad someone agrees with me.
I think everyone agrees.
If you
That'd
don't
be
agree
hard
with
not
me,
to.
comment down below. Like the
Yeah.
video. Please, I need more engagement.
Yeah. There's your viewer engagement right there.
We're down to a minute 38 engagement last time.
Oh,
It's bad.
we're getting really good at this.
No one
Clearly, we're improving.
no one has even watched this far to engage down below.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get popular one day.
We'll get there, yeah. I want to talk about I brought up Dune a bit ago.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that a little bit last time.
Yeah.
Any new Dune developments? Good
Dune
on you.
developments. Well, here's a new Dune development for you.
Yeah.
I read the second book.
You in between the last podcast and this one?
Yeah, it's like
Jeez.
a third of the length of the first book. It's not
Oh,
that,
okay.
but that's still like 300 pages or something.
Yeah, that's still pretty impressive.
Yeah. Anyways, it's good. Okay, if you didn't like the first like 100 pages of the first book, you might not like the second book
Oh yeah.
because
Why is it? Oh, because it's political.
it's a lot of political intrigue. It's a lot slower. There's like pretty little, like very little action. It's more focusing on a lot of the characters than like a lot of themes, but does continue a lot of themes from the first one. And I think if you're really interested in the world, the technology, the characters, the atmosphere of like the first one, then you'd probably like the second one.
What? Just to recap for all of the listeners out there, what is the main like weapon used in Dune again in like wars and stuff?
Well, you know, they use a lot of weapons.
But like the main one, like the one that most of them use because of like the impressive like shield technology and
Well,
whatnot.
you know, they have really good shield technology, so you
Mm-hmm.
know, it stops things that are fast, so you know a gun couldn't work.
So you have to use what exactly?
I suppose you didn't hear this from me, but you might have to use a sword.
Sword podcast.
Oh my god. It all comes back to swords.
Baited
Everything I
that one
talk
pretty
about
hard.
has swords in it. Even Pokemon. There's a sword Pokemon.
We briefly mentioned Star Wars earlier. That's pretty
Laser
heavy on those
swords.
laser swords.
Oh my god. I
I
can't
don't see how
go.
you can name this on anything else.
It's just swords.
Swords, swords, swords.
Now, I feel like liking swords has maybe a negative connotation. Now I'm connecting that. I'm seeing the connections in my mind. Liking swords, gamer,
Why?
connection, neckbeard.
I don't think that's necessarily true. Swords are just cool.
Yeah, but let me be clear. We're not neckbeards.
Now let me be clear.
See, I'm not gonna be a guy who goes around and be like, I've studied the blade while you, I don't know, got bitches.
While you were out getting bitches, I was studying the blade.
Because let's be honest, you pull out a sword in these times, you get shot.
Yeah,
But,
Indiana Jones reference right there. For any of you film heads
yeah,
out there.
catch me 500 years back, I'd be catching probably the Black Plague or something. But I would have a sword in my hand,
Yeah,
probably.
now he's loving it.
Or I'd be a peasant and working myself to death on my serfs. No, not serf. On my lord's land.
Hmm.
Damn.
Trying to think. Oh, I have a good one to get us off of the
Get a fuss of
get us off of swords. I don't see how we could trail swords back to a I I have a job, right?
classic.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people listening probably have had or currently have jobs. Um, but I've currently worked in the food service industry for about 2.5 straight years now, and I gotta say, it's the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow. This is my job.
Yeah,
Just to be clear to the listeners, no, this is not my job. I don't have a
yeah,
job. I'm unemployed.
content creative.
I make no money. I can't even pretend I don't make a cent.
That is one of the worst job titles, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you seem to have a pretty bad experience.
Uh, I mean, I, I have a bad experience, but at least I don't have to call myself a content creator, you know?
Yeah.
Participating in this podcast does not make me a content creator until we're famous.
True.
And even then, I will refuse the title.
I would, if I ever got famous on content creation, I would not call myself a content creator, I don't think.
Yeah, YouTuber is a little bit better, but still.
Twitch streamer, that's like cutting it, bro.
Yeah, you're
Twitch
getting
got
a little
no
close there.
respect.
Just call yourself a gamer.
Well, no.
All comes first, full circle.
Call myself a professional gamer. Pro, you could say.
Ooh, you going pro?
I'm going pro on
Pro Valorant.
gaming content.
Yeah.
That doesn't really follow because I don't do much gaming content. I'm going pro in podcasting.
Ooh,
I'm announcing it.
that's a good one.
And all you
Um,
fans out there, this is for you. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like recently, well, it's kind of a slow week, first of all. And second of all, I don't know. I feel like I've been kind of clocking it in. Cause let me tell you a secret right here, Henry.
oh yeah.
I've been getting tired earlier, and I'm scared to
Ooh.
attribute it to daylight savings time.
Oh man.
I'm
We already
scared.
talked about that, but it's the
I'm
worst.
scared it's actually helped me. I'm
That's
scared
funny.
I benefited from this for the first time in my life
Yeah.
after
Oh.
voicing it vocally and to for the world to see how I don't like it. I've been going to sleep earlier, especially during nights when I need to get up. Like in the morning, I've been getting up. I've been feeling a lot better. Last night, it's usually a Friday night. I'm usually like, fuck yeah, baby, I'm staying up forever. but I was in voice chat at like 12:30 and I was basically falling asleep. Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean it's healthier. Sleep is
Yeah.
very important. Before college, I would get a good like averaging 5 hours of sleep a night because I'd always have to be up so early for class, but I would always stay up late doing Lord knows what.
Been 5 hours of sleep?
Yeah, like every night. It was really bad
Oh,
for a
that's
while
like
there.
going to bed at 2.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
really bad. Well, I was
now
going
I'm
to bed for
clowning
about
on you.
1 for me,
I
but now
don't
I'm
go to
getting
bed
like
that late.
on weekdays I can get a good 10 hours, and then on weekends, I mean, just today I think I got 13 hours of sleep because I was catching up
Damn.
from the day before.
Yeah. I mean, I've been going to bed at like 11. I've been getting a full 8 hours.
Yeah, it's nice.
Is
Feels good,
this
doesn't
is this what like life feels like on
it?
not not having horrible gamer hours?
Yeah,
Feels good.
life feels a lot better on a full battery.
Feels good not being a gamer.
We are
Ayo.
directly contradicting that by recording this podcast at 1 in the morning, though.
Don't mention that.
Oh, okay, my bad. We are not directly contradicting that by recording
Hey,
this podcast at a
we
reasonable
could
time
have
of the
been
day.
finishing this podcast at 12:30.
Yeah, we
Then
could have, but
some
I was
people
late.
were talking a lot.
Oh, yes.
I'm not gonna blame it on you, cause I don't know why. I'm just gonna blame it on the people who can't talk back to me. Smile.
Oh, they have no rights.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
What?
What are they gonna do about it?
Not a lot. Maybe they will comment on this video and like it and share it to all their friends.
Yeah, they should do all of those things.
And then they'll really have gotten me there.
Yeah. Oh no! Please don't subscribe and like and
Oh,
follow and share,
please, please
etc.
don't.
Don't donate to the Patreon.
Yeah, to our non-existent Patreon.
Be here one day.
That is actually just my bank account. None of it goes to Henry.
Yeah, I accept that.
So, if you hate Henry, please donate.
I have a feeling 2 or 3 people listening, if they get this far, will donate.
I don't name it. Yeah, I mean, I should probably not make a Patreon because that would get no money, but just
Not,
set up like a
not.
Venmo.
I mean, yeah, just for funsies.
They do need to
See what
pay
happens.
you and something. I
Maybe.
am in debt to you, sort of.
I mean, in the terms of like, yeah, you owe me for our shared communism. Oh, I shouldn't mention that. Adobe might be listening. We
Oh
do
yeah,
not share an Adobe account.
isn't that what? Yeah, we would never
You
do that, Adobe.
technically not supposed to do that, but like
But
they
like,
kind of
isn't that
they
what the
stopped that by
thing?
only letting 2 computers being signed in at the same time.
Yeah, well, I feel like a lot of companies, they try and hold on to what they have so much, but it's like it'd be a lot better if you didn't. Like, let me bringing it back around to ROM hacks. But I just think if you do not produce the game anymore, say like an old Pokemon game, I feel like it is okay to just pirate it.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like password sharing is like a super bad problem for companies. I mean, they're big companies, so like I don't care, but like Netflix loses something crazy like $25 million or something every year because of password sharing,
Is that
stuff
like
like that.
a real figure? Did you come up with
I
that?
I I read it somewhere and I am remembering it was like something like 25,000, but I'm gonna fact check myself right now.
That seems like a lot.
Netflix lost revenue around 25 million each year, baby.
Damn. What did they make? Like 1 billion each year?
Wait, what?
I don't know. I just came up with
This
that.
is this is saying that while users enjoy the intriguing content on Netflix, the organization is losing 6 billion every year.
Netflix
Yeah,
losing
25
six
million password
billion,
sharing. 6 billion total from like a bunch of things
bro. How are they in business?
because they're also making a ton of money.
Yeah, they
Just
better
saw
make a
Squid
lot.
Game.
Jesus. Anyways, I think we're getting close to time. Maybe this hasn't been the most exciting podcast.
I disagree.
We did talk about swords a lot, so if you're a big sword fan, please like and share with all your friends.
Don't forget to subscribe as well.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah. I just like apologizing, so I'm just gonna say sorry.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving, guys.
Oh,
Next
yeah.
time we talk will be after Thanksgiving. So get your
Yeah.
food in, get your Black Friday shopping. Please don't get trampled.
That would suck, and it would lose me one view, so I would care.
Yeah, I would be very sad. Because that one view will be like a
Very
significant chunk of our
useful.
viewer base.
It'll be 1/30th of the people who watch this video.
Yeah, if you're listening, don't forget, eat some mashed potatoes during Thanksgiving dinner.
Or don't.
They're really good.
It's your choice.
Okay, I would
Alright.
recommend it.
Bye.